Hello, I am Dr. Miaken Zeigler, and I want to thank you for being here with me today. Especially as we end this year, we look to a new year. I think it's always good to reflect on where have I been? What have I been doing? How can I engage in a higher level to experience greater levels of health, wealth, connection, whatever that may be for you? And so I first want to thank you for your time. Lord knows all the things that you went through to sit down and be able to open up this conversation tonight on how to create a miracle morning for you. And certainly I want to acknowledge that. Secondly, I promise that I will do my best as a chiropractor, as a person, to deliver content that is relevant and that is supportive in your health journey. And I ask that you be open to receiving the information, right? We have 25, 30 minutes together, and it is your willingness to be open, with an open mind and open heart, to choose to grow with me today, to consider the possibility of a year from now things being better, you moving better, you thinking in a way that is more expressive in terms of health, well-being, and life. That is what I want for everybody. So you're being open to receiving the information today just for this 20 plus minutes we have together can really set you on a trajectory to experiencing more. And so let's begin as we discuss the miracle morning. Now, miracle morning routine, we'll get into this in just a second, but a lot of high functioning, high producing people in the world have structure to their morning. And today is all about looking at why that's important and how you can structure your morning so that you set yourself up for success. And I took tonight's talk from the book, The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. He's got great information. He's done a lot. He's got his own podcast. I certainly encourage you to engage, but this is what I want to start with. This is a paragraph in his book. Your entire life changes the day you decide you will no longer accept mediocrity for yourself. When you realize that today is the most important day of your life, when you decide that now matters more than any other time because it is who you are becoming each day based on the decisions that you are making and the actions that you are taking that is determining who you are going to be for the rest of your life. Okay? It's about getting out of bed with purpose, not because you have to, but because you genuinely want to, and dedicating time each day to developing yourself into the person you need to be to create the most extraordinary, fulfilling, and abundant life you can imagine. And so that is why we are diving into creating your miracle morning today. So the average American, 20 pounds overweight, $10,000 in debt, slightly depressed, they don't like their job, and they have less than one close friend. Isn't that sad? Less than one close friend. So this is the average American. So that means there's some people who are more than this, some people who are less than this. But frankly, I use the word mediocrity, average. When I look at the average, I'm not okay with this. And I think you deserve better. I think I deserve better. And if we can create a routine and a structure that can improve the average, then I would say it's worth it. So are you maximizing your potential and creating the levels of success that you truly want in every area of your life? Or are you settling for less than you are capable of or what you really want? So frankly, when it comes to healthcare, I'm not interested in average health. when it comes to life, I'm not interested in average lifestyle. And so understanding that this is the data, and if you want more, then guess what? You can have more. It just takes work, like everything. So the goal is to achieve extraordinary success in every area of your life simultaneously. Happiness, health, money, freedom, success, love. Not just one area. We want all areas. And in order for you to stop settling for less than you deserve in any area of your life, and to create the levels of personal, professional, and financial success you desire, you must first dedicate time each day to becoming the person you need to be, who is qualified and capable of consistently attracting, creating, and sustaining the levels of success you want. Okay. And Jim Rohn, he is a big motivational speaker, big in personal development. But let's just sit with this for a second. Our levels of success will rarely exceed our level of personal development, because success is something we attract by who we are. And so are you committing to levels of personal development in your day-to-day choices, in your day-to-day thoughts, in your day-to-day actions that will attract what you want? And secondly, do you know what you want, right? That's also important. So let's continue here. So let's look at more statistics. So according to the Social Security Administration, if you take 100 people at the start of their working careers and follow them for the next 40 years until they reach retirement, here's what you'll find. 1 will be wealthy. 4 will be financially secure. 5 will continue working, not because they want to, but because they have to. 36 will be dead, and 54 will be broke and dependent on friends, family, relative, and the government to take care of them. Again, going back to what we're seeing with the average American, the average choices, and where that puts us down the road, the cumulative impact of the average. So monetarily speaking, 5% of us who will be successful in creating a life of freedom, and 95% will continue to struggle their entire life. So again, reinforcing the need to continue to work on ourselves and our personal development so that we can work to become who we want to be versus staying in the, the hamster wheel, so to speak, and just trying to break free, right? Are we willing to make the choices that a small percentage of people are willing to do to have big, big end result? So I hate to look at some of these statistics because they're kind of dire, but here's the empowering thing. You can do something about it. It just takes, it takes the decision and the choice to do it, and then action behind it. So the 95% reality check, right? 5% of us, if you go back to the Social Security Administration, survey that they did, said 5%, monetarily speaking, are financially stable, financially secure. The rest of the 95% are just barely making it work. Why is that? And we're talking about, again, balance here. We want physical, mental, and emotional, relationship, financial success. Not just the average, not just mediocrity. And Hal goes into multiple reasons why the average person will fall into mediocrity and have challenges getting out of that. So the first one he talks about is the rearview mirror syndrome, okay? And the rearview mirror syndrome is our subconscious minds are equipped with a self-limiting rearview mirror through which we continuously relive and recreate our past. We mistakenly believe that who we were is who we are, thus limiting our potential in the present based on what's happened in the past. And so When this book came out, he shared that research was showing between 50 and the average person has between 50 and 60,000 thoughts a day. Okay. One of my favorite authors, Dr. Joe Dispenza, he came out with a more recent book. He said the average thought is between 60 and 70,000 thoughts in one day. Here's the problem. 90 to 95% of those thoughts are the same thoughts we have day in, day out, day in, day out. So we have a lot of thoughts, but the thoughts are the same thoughts every day. So when presented with opportunities, we quickly check in with our rearview mirror to assess our past capabilities, right? And then we think, no, I've never done anything like that before. I've never achieved at that level. In fact, I've failed time and time again. So when we are presented with adversity, we go back to our trusty rearview mirror for guidance and how to respond. And that keeps us in mediocrity. So what's happened in the past is who we were, but not who we are, right? But if we keep referencing back the past choices, past responses and results, then that can keep us in this 95%. Okay. He goes into another cause of mediocrity is having a lack of purpose, not really knowing why you get up in the morning, right? Viktor Frankl, he's a survivor of the Holocaust, and he wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And he said the difference between survival in the most dire of circumstances, so he's talking concentration camps, the difference was if man could find purpose and meaning in his day-to-day life. That was a difference between surviving the Holocaust camp and not. So, I mean, that is extreme circumstance, but I want for you to think about, do you have purpose? Is there meaning when you get up in the morning? Because it is vital. When you have a lack of purpose, then again, that indicates a level of mediocrity and average that doesn't really give you a drive or a motivation to do anything, right? Certainly to grow and develop yourself so that you can move in a direction that you want to go. So it talks about the average person takes life one day at a time and has no higher purpose beyond merely surviving. Most people just focus on getting through the day, taking the path of least resistance, pursuing short-term, short-lived pleasures along the way, while avoiding any pain or discomfort that may cause them to grow. So, lack of purpose. The next one he talked about was isolating incidences. Okay. And this is specific to our isolating incidences where we choose to say, you know what, I'm not going to work out today. I can work out tomorrow. Or, you know, I'm just going to run through and get some McDonald's. He refers to these isolating incidences as, you know, letting yourself slide, giving yourself an excuse to, it's just one workout, it's just one meal, it's just one day. But those add up. It's the cumulative choices you make consistently over time. That's where you're going to move yourself and grow. Okay. If you're always choosing the easy route when things get challenging or difficult, these are these isolating incidences that create this mediocrity. The next one he talked about is lack of accountability. And he said virtually all highly successful people, CEOs, athletes, the president, have a high degree of accountability. Gives them leverage they need to take action, create results, even when they don't feel like it. So having accountability with what you choose to do on a day-to-day basis, what your goals are, what your vision is, purpose, having those people who can hold you accountable and check in with you and support you in your journey is huge. And that leads into circle of influence. This is a big one. Research has shown that we virtually become like the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So who you spend your time with may be the single most determining factor in the person you become and in your quality of life. If you are surrounded with lazy, weak-minded, excuse-making people, you'll inevitably become like them. So spend time with positive, successful achievers, and inevitably their attitudes and success habits will reflect on you. You will strive to be more like those 5 people, right? So I challenge you to evaluate, who are you spending time with? Who are your closest friends? Do you like how they take care of their body, their decisions they make? Do they have purpose and meaning in the work that they do? Are they financially secure and stable? What are their thought process like? How do they treat their, the people around them? What community do they engage in? What are their choices in terms of physical health, mental, emotional health? How do they, connect with their close relationships, and how do they take care of, themselves financially? So your circle of influence, I think, is hugely important in terms of evaluating, who you surround yourself with. And then last 2, lack of personal development. So again, going back to Jim Rohn, our levels of success will rarely exceed our level of personal development, because success is something we attract by who we become. And we have to pick up different skills, knowledge, beliefs, habits to become and grow into somebody who performs differently, right? And so this one is, I think, sometimes thrown on the wayside, like, oh yeah, those personal development folks, they're always seeking out all of these things. And there's a reason for that, but it's sticking to it, right? Personal development, having purpose, and then consistently saying yes when those isolating incidences make it easy to say no. And the last one is the lack of urgency. Arguably the single most significant cause of mediocrity and unfulfilled potential, which prevents 95% of our society from creating and living the life they truly want, is that most people have no sense of urgency to improve themselves so they can improve their lives. Human nature is to live with a someday mindset and think life will work itself out, right? If not you, who? And if not now, when, right? We've got to start making the decision. We got to do it today, because you only have today. So these are, and there's quite a few of them, these are the reasons that Hal Elrod covers as to why the 95% of the average American, let's go back to this, fall into the last 3 categories. 5 will continue working, not because they want to, but because they have to. 36 will be dead, and 54 will be broke and dependent on others. I want more for you, and you want more for you. So what can you do in your miracle morning or your morning routine to set yourself up for success? And Hal talks about there are 6 specific things you can do in your morning to grow and become the person you want to be. But before we do that, I want you to see Mark Wahlberg's schedule that he posted online. And I would argue that Mark Wahlberg's probably a pretty busy guy. Let's take a look. His morning starts at 2:30 a.m. and he has prayer time, he has breakfast, he works out, he has post-workout activities, he golfs, make sure he's getting his snacks, he has self-recovery in there, cryo therapy, he's got his family time, meetings, work calls, right? Picks up the kid, works out a second time, showers, more dinner, family time, bedtime. I would say in order to have the level of results that Mark Wahlberg does, You have to have a pretty structured schedule. And I would argue this is one of the most structured schedules I've seen, where his schedule is scheduled out to the minute as far as what he fills that with. So I mean, if you're just starting your morning routine, guess what? It looks a lot easier than this one, right? And you can do it. We all can. We just have to make the decision to do things differently from here on out. So let's get into it. So 6 things that Hal covers in terms of setting up the best morning for you for success in your day, cumulatively over time, to become who you want to be. So he talks about the acronym SAVERS. And SAVERS, the first S means silence. And with silence, he talks about that can be meditation, that can be prayer, reflection, deep breathing, it can be gratitude. And he creates his miracle morning around a 60-minute miracle morning. So he says if you can spend 5 minutes in silence, where you're meditating or reflecting or in prayer, that is a great way to start your miracle morning. So S of SAVERS stands for silence. The next one, affirmations. So affirmations, again, going back to that rear view mirror effect, right? We all have these belief systems and thoughts, and again, 60 to, depending on who you talk to, 70,000 thoughts of ours every day. 95% of those thoughts are the same. So affirmations are a way for us to start changing those thoughts. Some of the people he talked about as far as having and using affirmations are Will Smith, Jim Carrey, Susie Orman, Muhammad Ali, Oprah. Been very vocal about their belief around positive thinking and using affirmations to help them on their journey to success and wealth. Affirmations can be as simple as I attract all that I need in life. Things are easy for me. I love getting up in the morning. I can't wait to start my day. Everything is easy. Those are affirmations. You can Google affirmations online. I have tons of books at the office that you can, thumb through and see if there's any affirmations that speak to you. Anything that, I've shared so far could be used as an affirmation. But again, these are very personal to you, what speaks to you and what you want to attract and who you want to change, right? So, see if I can find one really quickly. Well, we can post some if we want. So 80% of women, I think this is sad, have self-deprecating thoughts about themselves, body image, job performance, and what they think other people's opinions are of them throughout the day. 80% of women. And if this is the majority of their thoughts, and they have these thoughts every day, right? How is that going to allow them to express health? How is that going to allow them to become someone different? So choosing your thoughts can be really powerful. It just takes consistency. And that's where Hal adds affirmations into SAVERS. Since 5 minutes a day, you can record yourself saying them, you can listen to them, you can read them, you can read through them 2 times silently and 1 time out loud. Lots of ways you can do it. You can read them to yourself in a mirror. Lots of things out there available to you, but this is one of the important additives to creating your miracle morning. Thirdly, so SAVERS V, visualization. So creative visualization or mental rehearsal refers to the practice of seeking to generate positive results in your outer world by using your imagination to create mental pictures of specific behaviors and outcomes occurring in your life. And here's folks who've, again, used that. Bill Gates, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tony Robbins, Tiger Woods, Will Smith, Jim Carrey, Oprah. An easy way to do this is a vision board. Vision board is using pictures, using words. You put it on this poster board, you look at it every day, and you constantly see those pictures and those stories that you create that what could be. You can also create goals and imagine those goals happening, like to a very, like in every detail, just imagining those goals happening. He says 5 minutes is a perfect amount of time to spend visualizing. So we're 15 minutes in of our morning routine. The next one he goes into is exercise. Exercise is so vital to boost energy, enhance health, improve self-confidence, emotional well-being, helps you think better and concentrate longer. There's lots of health benefits to exercise, but he says if you can include this in your morning routine, 20 minutes, can be yoga, can be a high intensity interval training, can be a walk or a run. This is going to wake you up. This is going to allow you to move and increase your energy and help you think and concentrate. Lots of things out there. You know, you've got YouTube for any of those things. You can just put your music on and just go outside and you know, enjoy your morning outside. R is reading. So this is the most immediate method for acquiring the knowledge, ideas, and strategies for you to achieve success in every area of life. And he says, you know, commit 20 minutes. So we're 20, 40 plus 15. So we're at 55 minutes here at the end of our reading. You can commit to reading 10 pages per day and begin with the end in mind. Ask, why are you reading the book? What do you want to get out of it? Are you committed to completing and implementing what you're learning into action? So this is reading that is going to uplift your level of thinking and engage your brain and mind in a way that's going to challenge you. You're going to grow, think differently, have different perspectives. And again, going back to those isolating incidences, talks about the one here and the one there, where you say, oh, it's okay if I don't work out. Oh, it's okay if I don't do this. This is cumulative in nature. When you choose to read 10 pages a day, right, over a year, how much information are you nourishing your brain with, right? So reading is a wonderful addition to your morning routine. And then last one is scribing. So journaling, when you put pen to paper, can be really powerful in terms of what it creates in the universe and sets into motion. So there's tons of things you can do for journaling. He talks about, you know, gratitude journals, just writing whatever comes to mind, writing your goals. But this can help support growth, clarity, capture ideas, review any lessons, acknowledge your progress. You may decide to journal about what you read for that day, right? But he says if you spend 5 minutes scribing or journaling every day, in addition to all these other pieces, you are really rounding out a miracle morning. It is investing in you and your development and giving you a direction for who you want to become. And guess what? That's who you want to become. Your choices, right? You are actively pursuing something better for you. And he said, some people, you know, don't necessarily feel like they can commit to 60 minutes in the morning. Every morning, he said, hey, how about just do 1 minute each and do it the bare minimum 6 minutes, right? You can do 6 minutes of, or 1 minute of silence, 1 minute of affirmations, 1 minute of visualization, 1 minute of exercises. Maybe it's jumping jacks for 30 seconds, and then it's burpees for 20 seconds, and then it's 10 seconds of push-ups. And then you read your minute, and then you scribe or you journal for your minute. So it's doable. It just takes commitment and time. And again, the end goal, I would say, is 10, 20, 30 years from now. Where do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What do you want to experience? What do you want to do? Right? I don't want that 95% mediocrity for you. I want more for you. And the fact that you are getting adjusted, here's the beauty of being under chiropractic care and making these choices to invest in your health and well-being. It means your brain is more receptive to these changes, more open to these changes. So when you start investing in a brain that better integrates all the components of the choices you make in life, guess what? Everything is easier. So I love that you guys are getting chiropractic care. You are automatically more receptive to change. And I love that you are here today really looking at what can I do to up the ante for next year, so that when I'm looking at the end of 2021, I'm thinking, wow, I really made some strides because I definitely invested in me. I am continuing to build the foundation of more well-rounded, with clarity and with direction, a person of where I want to go. So I love and appreciate you. Thanks for being with me here today. And I would love to hear how, your miracle morning, you structure it and how it's going. And if you want more details, I have this book. It's called Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. He's amazing. And I will talk to you at the office.